Hello, welcome to Daily News from Marja'iyat TV. Shia Rights Watch warns that anti-Shiism hinders fight against coronavirus pandemic in Pakistan. While the world struggles to combat the novel coronavirus, anti-Shiism in Pakistan quells life-saving efforts. On June 17th, the family of a coronavirus patient in critical condition reached out to the community in search of a recovered coronavirus patient to donate blood plasma with antibodies. With much effort, the donor was found. But after finding out that the sick patient was of the Shia faith, the donor retracted his willingness to give plasma. This is not the first time intolerance against religious minorities has countered efforts to combat the disease. In March, volunteers from a non-governmental organization with ties to the Ahmadiyya community were forced out of the Karachi's Delhi colony as several residents cited the volunteers' religious identity. In other areas of Pakistan, minority Christian denominations were also prevented from receiving aid. While it would be expected that the presence of deadly disease would overpower biases, incidents of religious discrimination highlight the extent of dehumanization that fuels cultural violence in Pakistan. In the case of the donor in Islamabad, anti-Shiism in a layperson was deep enough to justify watching a countryman die while actively withholding life-saving material. In Karachi, the mere receipt of aid from a member of the Ahmadiyya community is considered demeaning, as some would rather live in poverty than to interact with the religious minority. Minority groups in Pakistan face the threat of extinction every day, and of those minority groups, Shia Muslims are one of the most targeted. At least one of every 5 Pakistani is Shia Muslim. Over the years, the Shia of Pakistan have been specifically targeted and killed by guns and suicide bombers. Shia-populated neighborhoods face higher rates of violence in the hands of terrorists. Nonetheless, the government of Pakistan has done little to protect its Shia Muslim constituents or to promote justice against anti-Shia violators. In addition to facing violence at a higher prevalence, Shia Muslims receive the lowest rates of international and national recognition. Disproportionate violence against Shia Muslims is an issue of international proportion. The lack of support within humanitarian efforts for Shia Muslims is also not new. To be withheld of sympathy is not unique to the Shia in Pakistan, as Shia Muslims all over the world face the lack of rapport with victims and survivors of anti-Shiism is a global problem. Moreover, many Shia Muslims report facing discrimination in obtaining assistance, not just across the Middle East, but also from providers based in the West. In May, donations made to the family of Aya Hashim, a 19-year-old female killed in the United Kingdom, were withdrawn when her identity as a Shia Muslim became apparent. The widespread and gruesome anti-Shia sentiments became apparent through threads of Twitter content within hours. In addition to recanting their condolences to the Hashim family, some made a point to preach the dreadful consequences of helping Rafidis or those outside the religion. A substantial amount of anti-Shia content has since been removed as a result of the outcry from the Shia community. Nonetheless, the recent wave of discrimination against Shia Muslims is just a visible sample of anti-Shia sentiment that exists within the international community. The refusal to donate blood plasma and withdrawal of donations are emergent behaviors stemming from decades of unmet cultural violence against Shia Muslims. Unless the dehumanization of Shia Muslims is addressed, international efforts will always be hindered. Shia Rights Watch highlights a need for combating intolerances that enforce anti-Shiism as a means of promoting international health measures. Efforts to combat the coronavirus must include recognition of minority discrimination and include measures to counter cultural and systematic violence against Shia Muslims. Cooling systems given out to needy in Baghdad, Iraq. With the efforts of Sayyid Qada committee affiliated with the Office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Kuwait, large numbers of cooling systems were given out to needy families and orphans in Baghdad, the capital of Iraq. This humanitarian work was conducted in cooperation with Rasul Adam Charity, affiliated with the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Qadamiyya. It is worth noting that the distribution of cooling systems was done in order to assist families during the hot summer of Iraq.